Hey everyone, it's Kelsey from Hungry Crafty Kelsey. So today I'm coming to you with a little project that you can do using your 6x6 paper. So yesterday I showed you a kind of a little project share of me making these card fronts. I haven't decorated them or added a sentiment to them yet, but I showed you that I used 6x6 paper to make them, and I'm using them to make card sets for a craft fair. I am not doing a craft fair soon. I'm doing one in the fall, but I wanted to get started so I can make a lot of items for my craft fair. So I'm going to need a lot of card fronts, and I just really want to use some of this really pretty paper, but I want to be able to do something where I can make a lot of them and not have to spend a crazy amount of time making cards. But I'll be able to have beautiful cards, and hopefully people would want to purchase some card sets, or maybe I'll even make some of these single cards to sell separately. But all depends on how I decorate them. So I'm not going to show you how to make the entire card. I'm going to show you how to make the card front using your 6x6 paper. So yesterday I showed my Michaels haul, and I had gotten these two paper pads for $1 each. So yesterday after the video I went and I made some card fronts using that paper pad, and these are just gorgeous. I just love them. So like, look at the flamingo one. Is that not so cute? And the lemons, like I love them all. So anyways, I just wanted to show you how I made these card fronts. So what you're going to need, of course you're always going to need card bases. These I made out of 110-pound cardstock from Michaels. They usually have this cardstock on sale. I want to say it's $10 for 100 sheets of it, but you get 2 card bases out of each. And I'm telling you, it's very important for you to measure to make sure it's a true 8.5 by 11, because those tiny measurements make a difference in how your paper folds and looks. Like this right here, this tiny bit of paper, I cut off because this paper wasn't a true 8.5 size. So, and that could have made a piece of paper like pop off in the edge, so it wouldn't look even. So you just want to make sure that you're measuring your card bases properly. Even though it says it's a certain measurement, it may be a teensy bit off. So what I'm going to show you is how to cut the card backing for the front, and then the design paper for the front. So in this video I am using this paper pad. It's a 6x6 paper pad that I bought at Joann Fabrics. It's the Cute Girl paper pad by Crate Paper. And that is the pad. And I have already cut up all but one of each paper that you'll need. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 8 sheets of pattern paper like this. And then you're going to need 4 sheets of like not so patterned paper. I'm saying that wrong, but it's going to be like an accent paper, like how this one has the pattern paper up front on top, but this is kind of like a more subtle pattern paper. So that's what you're going to want. You're going to want 8 sheets of pattern paper, 4 sheets of the smaller pattern or plain paper. And then you're going to want 4 sheets of a 8.5 by 11 base, and that's going to be what you're going to glue your pattern paper onto, and then you're going to glue this onto your card front, and that's how your cards are going to look. And then you're going to decorate and make them really fun. And okay, so what you need to do with this is you're going to cut it at 5 3/8. So I'm going to see if I can get that. So 5 3/8. And then we're going to do 4 1/8. I'm going to make sure this one's cut at 4 1/8. So you're going to have 2 there. And then I'm going to cut this to make sure this is at 5 3/8. Then we're going to do this at 4 1/8. And again, make sure that this is at 4 1/8. Okay. So you're going to cut up 4 of those 8.5 by 11 sheets, and you're going to get 4 bases from each sheet of paper. So you're going to have a total of 16. You can do much more than what I'm telling you to do. I'm just giving you a base number to go off of right now, only because I'm not going to make a crazy amount of cards on camera. So do 4 sheets of paper and then cut them to 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 rectangles. You'll get 4 from each sheet of paper. And then you're going to take your pattern paper. So you're going to have 8 sheets of these. Make sure to cut all 8 sheets the same way that I'm cutting this one. So you're going to put it in, and you're going to measure it at 5 1/4. So 5 1/4. This is a scrap piece. You want to hold on to that scrap piece for later. Then you're going to turn it to the 6-inch side, and you're going to cut it at 3 inches. So you're going to have 2 pieces that are 3 inches by 5 1/4. And then you're going to have 1 piece that is 3/4 inches by 6 inches. So we're going to get to this after I do the next sheet of paper. So again, with our next piece of paper, this is going to be the bottom piece right here. You're going to cut this at 5 1/4. And again, we're going to put this scrap piece off to the side. And now we're going to cut this to 1.5 inch strips. So you're doing this on the 6-inch side. So you're going to end up with 4 1.5 inch strips. So you're going to end up with 4 pieces that are 5 1/4 by 1.5. And you're going to do this with all 4 sheets of your accent paper. I'm not sure if saying accent paper is the right way to say it, but it's going to be your bottom piece that is the more subtle print. So as you can see, this isn't a very bold print because that's not going to be what you're going to be paying attention to mostly on your card. So with these sheets, these little strips of paper, you're going to cut these to 5 1/4. Sorry, I knocked my camera. You're just going to have these little squares. You can keep these squares for decoration later on, or you can do whatever you want with them. So these strips right here are going to be like the band right here. I know it's kind of hard to see on this one because it's striped. Like this band right here is what these strips are going to be. So once you have your paper all cut up, like I have cut up all my paper, like these are all my small pattern papers, and these are all my larger patterns. I'm going to show you how to put together your card fronts. So these are all the little bands. I don't know if I cut these to 5 1/4 yet, so I may have to do that. So now what you want to do, I'm going to put this off to the side for just a minute. You kind of want to put out all your your patterns. Because now you're going to basically decide which patterns go with your paper. Which bottom pattern will go with the top pattern. Okay. And then we're going to do this. Okay. So I just put one of each of my pattern paper down. Put the rest off to the side for now. And I'm going to take my smaller pattern paper and I'm going to match it with the cards. So I want to see how these can go together. Like this one. I'm going to do that. Basically, you're just matching up your papers together. I don't know if I like that. I want this one with that one. I think I like that with that. This is just like a fun little project. Matching up your paper. Do I like that? That or that? And then you're going to take your bands and you're going to match it up with your pattern papers to see what looks best. So I don't know if I want to do that or I want to do that. So what I'm just doing is I'm basically putting the patterns together to see how I want the card front to look. So This is actually a really fun part of the project. Don't know if I want to do that. And so as you can see, I'm almost done. So, okay. So I have 8 card fronts done, put together. I just realized I forgot to tell you, you're going to have, once you do 8, you're only going to have 12 of these strips. So you're going to pick another paper and you're going to cut it into 3/4 by 5 1/4 strips. So you're just going to have to pick another pattern paper. You can pick one of these pattern papers, or you can pick a totally different pattern paper from the same paper pad and just cut out 4 more of these 3/4 strips. So you can have all 16 of your cards done. So now that this is done, once you do this to all 16 of your card fronts, you're going to now glue them onto here. So some of these papers I didn't cut the bands all the way yet, so I'm gonna have to do that. So what you want to do when gluing onto your front, you're going to just glue the bottom pattern paper, so the smaller pattern paper, this is the 1.5 by 5 1/4 strip paper. You're going to glue that down. And then you're going to take the pattern paper, the big pattern paper, the 3" by 5 1/4 inch, and you're going to glue that down. I'm using an extra strength Elmer's glue stick. You can use adhesive tape if you want to. I just find this is easier, especially when you're making a lot of cards. You're not going to want to be peeling off the backing to the tape unless you have an ATG gun. I do have an ATG gun, but I don't have much adhesive left in it, so I need to buy some more. And then you're going to take the 3/4 strip, once you glue that big pattern paper, and you're going to put glue on that. And you're going to put that right over where the two papers meet up. So you're not going to be able to see that seam where those two papers meet up. So this is what a card front will look like. I'm going to do one more with you. Then I'm going to glue all these off camera. So we're going to do the bottom paper first. And again, if you have like a perforated edge like this on your paper, I like to put that up. So when you put your other papers over it, it's going to cover it. So you know, I try not to show the perforated edges because I want like the clean edges. So there's the bottom paper. Here's the pattern paper that's going to go on top of it. Okay. And then, I don't know where it went. Oh, right here. And then I'm just going to do this. And then I'm going to do all the rest off camera, and I will come back to you. I'm just going to cut all the rest of the pages of the bands to 5 1/4. And then I will be back to show you the finished product. So stay tuned. Okay, so I'm back. I have made all of my card bases, and I cut up this piece of paper to make 4 more bands. Since we only used 12 pieces of paper, I only had 12 scrap pieces. So I needed 16 pieces like this to make the bands for 16 cards. So it's really 12.5 pieces of paper. 6 by 6 paper will make the card fronts for 16 cards. So let me show you the ones that I just made using the paper that you just saw. Like, look at this one. Oh my god, I love that little cat. I'm not even a cat person either, but like, is that not so cute? And I just love these cards. So I love this card, this paper pack. So if you're ever in Joann Fabrics and you see the cute girl paper pack, 6 by 6 paper pack, grab it because it's so adorable. So that's what you can do with your paper, and you're basically using the entire sheet of paper except for these little tiny squares. Then even then you can probably figure out something to do with those. So I'm not decorating these cards, but I can do a separate video of decoration ideas because they're going to be like very simple. Because you don't want to go too crazy when you're trying to make a lot of something. Because you really want to try to get paid for your time as well as the product when you're selling something. So this took, I would want to say it took about an hour to do all these card fronts. So, yeah. So if it's going to take about an hour to do the card fronts, you want to get paid for the materials that you used, and you want to be paid for your time, and you still have to put them on card bases, and the 110-pound paper is pricier than all the other plain cardstock that you can buy. And you're going to have to use dies or whatever, stamps, to decorate. So make sure that you're pricing these appropriately and not putting too much time when you're making a lot. If that makes sense. So yeah. So if you want to see decoration ideas, please leave a comment below. I'm just going through these again so you can see them again. And let me know if you like this idea and if you're going to try it, and show me your products if you actually do it. And I'm working on doing more. Right now I have papers cut up, like I have this llama paper, like how cute is that? Unicorns, balloons. So this one's going to be like a birthday pack, and I have Christmas ones cut up too. So I already paired all those together. So I'm really getting ready for these craft fairs. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. And have a great day. Happy crafting. See you later. Bye.